Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and today is very exciting for me because we once again get to talk about Grand Sumo, bro. That is right, the Banzuke has dropped. Bit of a questionable Banzuke, some interesting choices here, but we'll get into that a little bit later. But regardless, we are here to make my predictions for every single Rikishi in the top division, how I think they're going to do, and just to make it a bit more fun, I'm going to put them all into a tier list. So, so the way this tier list is going to work is S tier are wrestlers I think are going to get at least 12 wins. The A tiers are wrestlers who I think will get between 9 and 12 wins. B tier is 8 to 10 wins. C tiers is either 6 or 8 wins to 7 and 9 wins, and then D tier is 5 to 7 wins, and then F tier is 6 or fewer wins. Now, before I go any further, I have to just admit, I have to come clean. I have to clarify that I did not come up with this tier list idea on my own. This was made by a very good sumo YouTuber by the name of Sumo Spiffy's Bar and Grill. This is one of my favorite sumo YouTubers. He's one of, at least, definitely my most watched. So he does these kind of breakdowns of tier lists. This is how he organizes his videos and his predictions and his thoughts. And I just kind of want to throw my own in, you know. I've been watching him for a while. I've been part of his community pickings. So I've already submitted my predictions for this video to his community page. So I've already influenced that, but I thought it'd just be fun for me to come on here and make my own predictions, make my own video talking about my predictions. But still, I have to give all the credit in the world to him. I did not come up with this idea. It was Sumo Spiffy's Bar and Grill. Go show him some love, man. If you haven't seen his videos before and you like this style of videos, and you want to see someone else kind of do like a similar video to it, you can go to his channel and watch his upcoming tier list creation video. It'll be way better edited than mine, and he's a lot more knowledgeable in sumo than I am, so take for that what you can. But let's move on here. Let's get into the tier list. We have 42 wrestlers to talk about here, so let's just get into this here, man. We're going to start with like some of the lower tier guys who I think are going to do too well, and then slowly kind of make our way up to the bigger name guys. So let's start things off with Kotoeiho. I'm putting him at D tier. He did pretty decently in his first Makuuchi Bacho back in July at Megashira 17. Considering the injury that he had, but I think he's kind of found a spot where he likes to just kind of float at, you know. I think he's kind of found a place that really fits like his level, you know. And so being back up to Magashira 17, I don't really see him coming away with a winning record. So D tier it is for Kotoeiho. Up next we've got Mitakeumi. You know, Mitakeumi, legend of the business. You know, he's just trying to stay at the top division, stay afloat here. He looks to be pretty consistent in this double-digit range of Magashiras, so he could have a bounce back at like the absolute lowest level. When that comes, it's kind of hard to say. So I've put him at C-. 8 wins is definitely a possibility, but I think, you know, it's a bit safer to play it going for 7 or 6 wins. Up next, we have Asahokuryu. You know, this is a pretty young up-and-comer. He's pretty consistent, but he didn't really have that big of an explosive performance at Magashira 17 that I was kind of hoping for, especially against more proven guys. I think he seemed to have struggled quite a bit with. So for those reasons, I'm gonna stick with C-. He did look good. 8 and 7 at Magashira 17 is not bad at all. But now that you're going 1 up, I'm gonna say there's probably a bit more of a fall off. But an 8-win record is still possible. So we'll stick with C- for now. Up next, we have Fujiryoga, a new guy, another guy I don't know a ton about. You can see here though, during his Makushita divisions, he was 6-1, 6-1, 4-3, and then 6-1 again. Before having a fucking running through the Juryo division here, man. Like Juryo 13, he won the Basha with a 13-2 record, and then at Juryo 3, he went 9-6. So I'm kind of expecting like, I don't think 9 wins will be as easy for him, obviously. I don't know what to expect from him too much finally being at the top division. I think C- is a pretty safe pick here. I think 6 wins is pretty reasonable for these kind of performances here from like from that low of a level. So we'll see how he does in the upcoming tournament. But I like C- as a kind of a safe pick for him. Up next we have Midorifuji. I have him at C+. I put him in the C+ tier. You know, veteran guy. He usually hangs around Magashira 8 to Magashira 12. starts pretty poorly in the tournament, but then picks on newer guys or guys that are going on bad runs. But now he's kind of starting to drop out of that range, so this is like a real big test for him. I have him going C+ here. I didn't love what I saw from him last tournament, going 6-9 to Magashira 12, but I think C+ is pretty. I think 7 wins is pretty guaranteed, and like he could just randomly pop off again, you know. He's kind of been proven to do that at these lower ranks. This is the lowest he's been in the last year. So I like my chances of him getting 9 wins over getting 6. So I put him at C+ for this tournament. Up next we have Nishikifuji. You know, Nishikifuji, he's a pretty injury prone guy, but he's done pretty poorly in the Makuuchi division, but he is slightly getting better. We still have yet to see how he really does M12 and above, so this is kind of a buyer's beware kind of pick. I'm going to put him at C+. I'm going to be just like a little bit optimistic, you know, if the, you know, injuries aren't really holding him back or you know, anything like that. He went 9-6 at Magashira 15 in November, so I'm going to bank on at least getting 7 wins again. I think that's a pretty reasonable choice, a reasonable ask of him, so I have him at C+. Up next we've got Tobizaru. Injuries seem to be catching up with him. You know, there's a small chance I think he puts in a losing record at M15 or lower, but through that he might be tested. 7-8. I'm being a little bit more optimistic. You know, I think we've seen him. He's closer to like those rankings where he does well than when he doesn't do so well. You know. He had like Magashira 9, he had a 6-9 record. Magashira 15, he had 9-6. He's at Magashira 13. I'm gonna be a bit more optimistic with him. I think 7 wins again is a reasonable ask, and I think he's a better chance of reaching 9 wins than he does just hitting 6. So I'm gonna rank him. I've ranked him at C+ tier. Shishi up next. I have him at D tier. Unfortunately, you know, he's shown promise. I really do kind of want to believe in this guy, man, but like, he's at a ranking now where he's never done well. The last 2 times he was at Magashira 11 here, he went 4-11 and 6-9. So it's hard for me to really see, you know, him getting that winning record from this ranking. So for those reasons, I'm gonna have him at D tier. He could surprise me. He has gotten better in these last few tournaments, so this might be. Like, I just think this is a safe pick. C-, I feel like was just too risky to go to. I don't see him getting a winning record here at this ranking, so I'm going to go D tier for him. Like, he is improving, though, so he might surprise me in the end. Who knows? Up next, we got Chiyoshoma. He is... He's on his 5th stint at Makuuchi. He didn't always, but is now kind of doing well at M12 and below. Anything over is kind of a toss-up, and winning records aren't really likely at a ranking above. Thankfully, this tournament, he is at Magashira 14. So for those reasons, I'm going to have him C+. I think he could just randomly get 9-6 here. He got 10-5 at Magashira 17 in November, so... I feel like at Magashira 14, it's not a big ask to go for 7 wins in a tournament, you know. I think that's pretty reasonable, so I'm going to go with C+ for him. Up next, we've got Shodai. Pretty unpredictable guy. This is a tough pick, man. Like, he has for his entire career, he's had, not his entire career, but recently, you know, he's had losing records when he's ranked Magashira 10 and above, and winning records at Magashira 11 and below. He's ranked Magashira 8, so I just don't see him getting that winning record. I think he could just get 7 and 8 wins, but like 6 or 5 is also something I find pretty reasonable. I think that's more expected out of him than just 8 or 9. So I went with D tier for Shodai. It sucks to say, man, but I'm gonna go D tier for Shodai. Asakoryu at C-. There's something I like this guy, Asakoryu. There's something interesting about him. He's one of the younger guys just trying to figure out the top division. He's on more of a roll, but he's now at his previous highest ranking where he went 6-9 in July. But I'm gonna so 6 wins is reasonable, like it could happen. That's why I went C-, but like I kind of hope he can fucking hit 8 wins here, man. I kind of hope he can. I'm not like, I kind of expect him to. I expect him to hit 6 wins, but hopefully he can go for 8. I think C- is a good ranking for him there. Hopefully he can do well. Yeah, I think he's gonna do something around that. Up next we have Kinbozan. Dude, this guy got done insanely dirty by the fucking rankings, bro. 3 tournaments at Magashira 8, 7 and 8, 7 and 8, 4 and 11, demoted 8 ranks. It's pretty nuts, dude. I think, you know, and it's not without total reason. I feel like they've kind of given up on this guy a little bit. He has regressed in the last year. He's struggling at ranks he used to find success. Again, in May he went 10 and 5 at Magashira 8, so to see him go 4 and 11 is really tough to see. But he usually has winning records at rankings below this, and I think M16 is just too big of a dip for me to be like, oh, a losing record is possible. So I have him at B tier. I think he will get at least 8 wins at this ranking. He should, man, right? I feel like that'd be a big disappointment out of him if he isn't able to at least get a winning record out of this ranking at M16, which is, it's a nuts ranking, bro. That's tough. Up next we have Roga. 7 or 8 and 7, man. It's fucking, look at this guy, dude. Look at this guy. Magashira 10, 7 and 8. Magashira 11, 7 and 8. Magashira 11, 8 and 7. Magashira 9, 7 and 8. Like, it doesn't matter. It's C. It's a C pick, bro. I went C minus. I think 6 wins is more likely than 9, but it's gonna be 7 or 8 wins he gets with this guy, bro. It's very consistent, man. So we like those for our picks, but you know, in terms of like getting excited about guys, this is not someone I'm very super excited about. Up next we have Oshoumi. He had some injury woes, but it seems to be healthy going into this tournament. He is at his highest rank, so we'll see how he does. I have him at C minus. I do like his last performance, going 10 and 5 in Magashira 16. So I do think 8 wins is possible, but like it's just such a big jump. You know, go from 16 to 11. I'm gonna go safer, play it safer, and say that 6 wins is more likely than 9. So I'm gonna put him at the C minus tier. Up next, we have Gonoyama. This guy, you know, he got these records, man. 4 and 11 at Magashira 2. 1 and 14 at Magashira 3. I can't remember if this was an injury one, but I just know that, like, he's kind of figured out when he's been ranked Magashira 3 and above. Everyone's just kind of figured out his game above that. But the interesting thing about him is that when he's been ranked below Magashira 10, he hasn't had a losing record yet. So it's tough. He's on the lower end of that. Like, anywhere between, like, Magashira's 10 and 3, it's hard to figure him out, sort of. He went 7 and 8 at Magashira 9 in January, so I'm going to go with C minus here. I'll say 6 wins. He could be on just more of a decline, but 8 wins is still totally possible, so I'm going to go with C minus here for Gonoyama. D tier is being given to Takanosho. I like Takanosho. I really do, man. I really do. But I just don't like this. Not favoritism. I can't call it favoritism. But, like, I just don't see anything in him that's like, yeah, dude, this guy can make a run, you know? Like, every single time he gets momentum, this guy, literally every single time he's ranked above Magashira 5, he cannot score a winning record. And below that, this guy is fucking amazing, bro. Look at this. Okay, so, last March, Magashira 3, 3 and 12. Disgusting. Magashira 12, May, 8 and 7. Okay. 11, 9 and 6. Fucking September, he goes 12 and 3 at ranked 7 with fucking Fighting Spirit Award. So that brings it back up to Komusubi, 5 and 10. Magashira 3, 5 and 10. And then he gets just blessed. He gets so blessed with this fucking Magashira 4 ranking, dude. I don't know how he didn't fall farther than this. This is insane. This is insane. I have to go D tier. What argument could you make that he's gonna have a winning record? What argument could you make? These opponents? Dude, it doesn't matter, bro. M3, 3 and 12. Komusubi 5. M3, 5 and 10. He's gonna have a losing record. You could put him at F. I won't do him that dirty. I'm gonna say he goes 5 and 10. And so I put him at D tier. But I don't know. This guy, it's insane this guy's still at Magashira 4, dude. Fujiseiun. Fujiseiun? Did I misspell that? I might have misspelled that. I did misspell. I can see in my actual typing in the top corner. Oh well. Fujiseiun is a very interesting guy. He's got some hype. He just went 11 and 4 at Juryo 1. That's pretty cool. So he's coming in with some hype, going up all the way up to Magashira 13, which I think is pretty interesting. So I have him at C plus here. I think You know, if you're doing that, I don't think 7 wins is a big ask. I don't. So that's what I'm predicting you do, man. I think you could maybe even get 9. If you're really him, you had one bad tournament at Juryo and then you just fucking all winning records. I'm saying at least get 7 wins. I think you can do that, man. I think you can do that. Up next, Kotoshoho at D tier. Look at this guy's fucking chart, man. Alright, M16, M14, injured, M15, fucking 13-2, wins the tournament, fighting spirit, outstanding performance, Kinbozan, fucking incredible performance from him, bro. Like, fuck, caught lightning in a bottle there. So he got ranked up to Megashira 5, fell flat on his fucking face. Megashira 10 went 7-8, fought really weirdly, but then bounced back at Megashira 10. So now he's back at Megashira 5. And you know, man, I just can't think of a reason that he would do well at this ranking again. You know, like 9-6 at Megashira 10 is already kind of tough. So to go all the way back up to Megashira 5, where you just went 3-12, like, I'm not picking you to have a winning record, dude. I'm not. You're getting 7 wins max. You are. You just are, man. I don't know how you got so blessed this tournament either. 9-6 is like, you should be up to like Megashira 8. Megashira 5 is nuts, dude. You're not getting a winning record. You're going D tier. I'm sorry that had to happen to you, bro, but I'm glad you got the tournament win. That tournament win was fucking awesome. But yeah, dude, that's a crazy ranking to give him. Up next, we have Ichiyamamoto. You know, look at this shit, man. Look at this shit. 4-11, 11-4, 4-11. What am I supposed to do with this, bro? You know, the guy struggles against Sanyaku pretty regularly. But he does... he can pull off good enough performances to never drop below Megashira 10, so he's sitting at Megashira... Whenever he's put on the pressure to, like, do good enough to not drop below Megashira 10, he does that. So, Megashira 6 means he won't drop below... he won't have less than 4 wins. So I put him at C2. So yeah, 6 wins. I think he's going to get at least 6 wins to stop him from being dropped below... being dropped to Megashira 10. Yeah, so that's what C-. It's as simple as that, dude, you know? This guy, he can't really compete with the the fucking Sanyaku guys, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is, man. Up next, we have Onokatsu. Okay. So we talked about Kinbozan, right? Perpetually at Megashira 8, always the same records. Look at this fucking guy. He has a full-on drop. Look at this guy. September, Megashira 6, 7-8. Megashira 6, 7-8. Megashira 6, 7-8. Megashira 6! This is his 4th time in a row being ranked Megashira 6. So he's got 7-8, dude. Like, 7-8, bro. Like, it's... What the fuck is this guy? What is this guy? What is he doing? Please just fall off. Do something, man. You'd be so much more interesting at any other rank. What the fuck is this shit, man? Yeah, 7-8. You can get 6 wins, you can get 8 wins. You're getting 7 wins though. Yeah, that's crazy shit, man. Up next, Tokihayate. I have him at C+, which feels optimistic. You know, he's a tough small dude. And Megashira 11 was his previous ceiling and could barely put together winning records at Megashira 13, Megashira 14. But I think he's getting better, man. I think he's starting to improve a lot. So I like his chances with this big bounce back up to Megashira 9 that he can get at least 7 wins. That's just, I'm feeling it, bro. I'm feeling it. Look how lovely this fucking chart flows, bro. Look at that wave and then the bounce up. This is probably my favorite chart out of all the ones I created for this. That's a very nice, satisfying chart. Yeah, man, so I have him going, I have him with 7 wins. At least. He could get 9. Low-key, I'm feeling Tokihayate this tournament, bro. I'm feeling he can do well. So I'm gonna go with, C+ for him, putting him at C+. Up next is Tamawashi. Dude, Tamawashi, I believe it's this tournament that he is going to be entering his 99th straight top division tournament, which is, like, the 3rd longest streak in sumo history, which is fucking nuts. True veteran in the game, man. Another guy that unfortunately for him, he does get kind of bullied by the Sanyaku, but he's never done poor enough to drop below Megashira 10. But you know, the pressure's on. Man. And you know, last Basha was a tough one. Megashira 5 went 5-10. Like, you know, Megashira 4, this guy was fucking going to a playoff for the tournament win, bro. So I don't want to say the fall off is happening. I'm going to predict that it won't. He's going to have a big bounce back. He's going to get at least 8 wins. I think that's a reasonable pick. And just pray that the fall off is not happening. I don't want to predict when these guys fall off, man. I'm going to predict this a big bounce back for him. He's going to stay above Magashira 10. And, you know, he'll just perpetually float there. It'll be very beautiful to see him reach the eventual record, probably. Abi. C-. Started 2025 as a solid Sanyaku contender, managing to stay above Magashira 3. Got injured and had 2 bad tournaments, dropping down to Magashira 12, where he seems to have rebounded, improved his sumo, so optimism should be high. That being said, though, this is a big-ass jump. And I think being so close to Magashira 7, you know, and again, these are injury woes, and he seems to have come back from that. So I think 6 wins is reasonable. I see him going 8 and 7 for sure. I just don't see 9 wins. You know, with this crop of guys at the top now too, I just don't see that happening for Abi. I think 8 wins is pretty reasonable, or 6, but I'm gonna go C- just because of that. Up next we have Hakunofuji. This is a young talent who's still learning, but looks pretty good. You know, he's constantly getting these Kinbozan. Like 4 in a row is pretty fucking spectacular. Usually has a winning record at Magashira 2 or below, but he's had some injury rolls, but could bounce back in a major way at this ranking. So I'm gonna go C+ here. I think 7 wins is not a big ask from him at all, considering, you know, 8 and 7, 8 and 7, 8 and 7, all with Kinbozan, bro. So he can beat some of the Sanyaku guys, man. He can beat the Yokozunas. So I think it's pretty reasonable to expect that from him, you know? Like, just get 7 wins. That's all I'm asking for. 7 wins this tournament. Maybe 9. But let's just, anywhere in between that will be good, bro. So I'm going to go with C+ for Hakunofuji. I can't say that. Hakunofuji. That doesn't feel right to say out loud. I don't know why. Up next is Asanoyama. Dude, it's so funny. You know, you ever watch, like, other combat sports where, like, you read about a guy a lot, and then all of a sudden you get to see this guy perform? It's just so weird to see this guy perform now. I guess I also always just picture him whenever I read his Wikipedia. Just picture him getting the Emperor's Cup from fucking Trump, dude. That's just so funny to me. And I guess for those of you who don't know, this guy was an Ozeki, second highest rank, broke COVID protocol, got suspended for a fucking year, had to work his way back up, and then got a traumatic knee injury that he's still seemingly recovering from. So much so that in March he was ranked in the Sadaname division, which is the lowest in the entire last year anyone in this top division has been. But he's worked his way up, man. He won that Yusho. He's done pretty well from there on out. 12 and 3, 12 and 3 at Juryo, and then 9 and 6 at Magashira 16, where it still seems like that knee is still kind of giving him some trouble, but he did well enough to still be promoted to Magashira 12. So I can see him at least getting 6 wins at this new ranking. It'll all just depend on how well that knee is looking. It seems to be doing pretty decently, and after more time given, it looks like he's going to be healing better and better. So we'll see, man. I think he could just pop off, right? This could just be like a B tier guy, right? He could just reach like B tier, but I'm going to go with C-. 6 to 8 wins feels a bit more safe. Up next, we have Oshoma. Okay, so with Oshoma, right? Below Magashira 5, usually locked in for a winning record, right? Above Magashira 5, he's locked in for double-digit losses. Komosubi, 3 and 12. Magashira 4, 4 and 11. Everything else, 9 and 6, 10 and 5, 9 and 6, 7 and 8. I'm going C+. You know, like, I think this one was a weird one. This last one was just a bit of a weird one. He started really strong. He went like 5 and 0 before fucking having an insane fall-off and ending up 7 and 8, but I think, you know, there were a little bit of problems there, but I think he can rebound from that pretty easily. So I think 7 wins, again, is a pretty generous ask from him. Again, I could just be wrong. This could be a B tier pick, but I'm going to say, yeah, I'm going to put him at C+, because I think 7 wins is still, again, very likely to happen. Over 10 wins, I would say, yeah. Up next, we got Oho. Oh my god, this fucking guy, dude. Man, what an interesting fighter. I think he's one of the more interesting guys to really look at, because he always shows just very good potential, but can never just quite put it all together. He can beat top ranked guys, man. Set like 7 and 8 Kinbozan, 7 and 8 Kinbozan, 7 and 8 like, it's all good. He can beat the top ranked guys, but he can never put together a really good tournament. This Magashira 2 ranking was such an outlier, you know? And now, these last two performances at ranked levels, he's gone 7-8 and 4-11. You know, he just can't put it together, and I think he's kind of a cursed fighter, honestly. That being said, though, he is very good in the last 3 days of the tournament. That's just always been a thing with him, I guess. But for those reasons, I'm going to go C-. I think 8 wins is probably going to be his max. Like, again, maybe I did kind of undervalue him. Maybe you want to make that argument. But I'm going to go at least 8 or maximum 8 wins, at least 6 wins for him to get. I think that's pretty fair. I think it's pretty reasonable. I think the bounce back will just be a very slow. I don't think it'll just be a fucking immediate back shooting up to the Sanyaku rankings, genuinely. Like, especially at the level of competition we have at the top level now. Like, some of the guys that are ranked M2 and M1 are just, like, it'll be tougher for him now. I think he'll just be more and more, I don't want to say exposed, but, like, it'll be tough for him going forward. So I'm going to put him at C-. Up next, Hiradoumi. Oh, my fucking God, Hiradoumi. This is so funny, man. Look at this guy. Never above M3, never below M6 for the entire year. So, and it's funny because, like, M6, like, M5 and M4, 8 and 7, whatever's. M6, he does well, and then M3, he doesn't get a winning record. He's ranked at M3 for this tournament, so I think he's going to get a losing record. It's just that simple, man. Until I'm proven wrong, like, listen, man, with sumo, there's formulas that work. And you look at something like this, and it's just easy to tell, right? Unless it's proven wrong, that's when you fucking go against it, dude. That's when you have to really start kind of, like, locking in a little bit, you know? And then making some choice decisions. But here, I think it's easy. Magashira 3, losing record. Boom, done. Simple as that. Next up, we have Ura. Another guy I felt kind of got done dirty by the rankings, which would translate to, I think, a pretty good tournament. So much so, A- for him. He isn't a top-level guy per se, and I think, you know, his records at Magashira 3 and 2 reflect that. But he can pull out some really good tournaments every once in a while, especially once he's coming off bad ones. Like, you look at the 5 and 10, boom, winning record, back into 10 and 5, and then here he is at Magashira 8 again. I think 9 to 11 wins is a reasonable ask for this, man. Like, from what we've seen from him previously, I think he can do that, man. So I'm going to go with A- here. Churanoumi next. Started off pretty wildly inconsistent in his career, but it's gotten better. He's now reached his previous peak, so it'll be interesting to see how he does here. I have him at C-. I just, you know, it's such a big jump, and again, where he's reached that previous highest ranking like a lot more than a year ago. He's on a steady incline, so, like, you know, 8 wins, 7 wins could still be reasonable. It just kind of, like, levels out a bit more, you know. I'm going to go with C-, though. I think 6 or 7 or 8 wins is reasonable and what I think would happen. Duh. Up next is Daieisho. Dude, this is the fucking goat right here, man. Definitive. This guy deserves to be in Sanyaku. He just does. I'm sorry. We're not going to worry about this last tournament or the one before that. Yo, he was injured, bro. Trust. Like, no, but genuinely, right? He has been struggling with injuries that he should rebound from eventually, and then make his way back into the high ranks. And I think, you know, this tournament, he can at least get a winning record here. Because every bad tournament usually means a big swing into a good one. I think, you know, it just takes him a minute, stick him with the same ranking, then he figures shit out, bro. Then he gets fucking 10 wins, 9 wins, 11 wins, you know? So I'm gonna go with him to get at least 8 wins in this tournament. I think that's very fucking fair, dude. So I expect him to get at least 8 wins in this tournament. Fujinokawa up next. I feel like there's not a lot of hype around Fujinokawa, but I feel like there should be, man, because he's coming into his 5th Basho, and he's coming off his best performance at his highest rank, and now he's all the way up to Magashira 2. I think he can do pretty well here, man. So I'm going to go with C+. I think 9 wins is more likely than 6. I think he can, like I said, look at this trajectory, man. Like, the numbers are rising, dude. Like, I think it could level just right back out to about, like, a 9 and 6, maybe. You know, like, it just seems reasonable. So I'm going to go C+ for him here. Yeah. 7 to 9 wins. I think he can do that with ease. I think he's just one of those big players, man. Like, you know, obviously now he's going to be in the Joy rankings. He's going to be fighting some Sanyaku guys. So that might affect him a little bit. And that's why you know, still, like, 7 wins, I think you can do that, man. If you just do pretty decently, like, I'm not saying I don't rate a lot of the guys in the Sanyaku rankings right now, but surely you can go like, surely you can beat like 3 of them, right? Right? Surely. Yoshinofuji up next. Also only on his 5th Basho. He's still kind of struggling to put together amazing Bashos against the very top guys. But he's looked great at points, so it may only be a matter of when, not if, he reaches the Sanyaku ranking. He might genuinely be getting a... they won't... Dude, they should give him a Komusubi off an 8 and 7. You got 2 Kinbozan and an outstanding performance, dude. I think he's gonna... If he gets 9 wins here, if he does get 9 wins here, he's gonna be promoted. But still, I have him at C+. He hasn't had a losing record in the top division yet. I see no reason for why it would be now. He hasn't had like a big jump up in competition. And he's not really facing any new opponents. He's looked good. He's getting better. He's against some of the top level guys. He's getting that top level guy experience. So I think at least 7 wins is reasonable. I could have gone B, but I'm gonna go C+ because, you know, maybe they figured him out, you know. But I feel like that's not the case. It's just a bit of a safer pick, you know. Up next is Wakamotoharu. Constantly hovering at the 7 to 9 win range. 10 wins always just seems too far, and 6 losses is an off tournament for him, no matter the rank. It's simple as that. C+. 7 to 9 win. There it is. You know, he's Komusubi. This is a guy I could see losing to fucking Fujinokawa. I'll say it. I'll say it, bro. I think he's gonna take a loss to Fujinokawa. I'll predict that one right now. I think that'll happen. But yeah, 7 to 9 win range. Easy C+. Very locked into C+ here. Simple as that. His brother, Wakatakakage, also C+. Can easily dominate Magashira's schedule, like, you know, when he's outside of the Sanyaku. But he does struggle against some of the top guys, especially when he's dealing with injuries. Depending where he's ranked, he can do well. You know, a simple step up. Last time he was Magashira when he went 7 and 8. He's also got 9 and 6. I think C+ is also pretty fair. At this rank specifically, I think this is a pretty fair ask for him. Pretty easy to see, you know, what he could do with this ranking here. So I'm going to go with C+ for him. Takayasu. Look at this fucking hairy guy, bro. Why so much hair, dog? He just managed to stay afloat up at the Sanyaku rankings with barely winning records, which might just be the normal for him going forward. Yeah, man. He just floated at Komusubi for a while. But then he went 8 and 7, which saw him get promoted to Sakiwaki, which he went 8 and 7. C+. 7 9 wins again. Do it again. Let's just see you do it again, bro. No reason to see you going like, oh, fucking 12 and 3 again, bro. Another technique award and a Kinbozan for you, bro. I do like that tournament though. That was a very fun one that you locked in for. Anyway, up next, Atamifuji. You know, solid prospect. He really is, man. He's a 4-time runner-up of tournaments. He's a 4-time Jun Yusho winner, but has never reached the double digits in Magashira 8 before this January tournament where he just randomly popped off. Before that, if he was ranked above Magashira 8, never had a winning... never reached double digits, I would say. And not read... Dude, I just fucking looked at that number and almost contradicted myself. Yeah, never reached double-digit wins before this tournament at ranked Magashira 8 and above. Back-to-back losing records at Magashira 3 and above, though, so... This is his highest ranking yet. Look at these swings he has. Look at these swings he has, man. He kind of, like, levels out, though. He's kind of, like, taking them in at points. So... I just don't see him as like a Sanyaku worthy competitor. And I think he's someone else that could probably lose to Fujinokawa. So I'm going to say he goes C+. 9 wins is pretty reasonable. 7 wins is definitely reasonable. Like, again, if you were just as locked in as he was last time, which he can just randomly lock in at points, it feels a bit... It may be a bit optimistic, but... I'm gonna just go with it, man. I think he's coming off his best performance ever. So I think that justifies it a little bit more. When he's coming off his literal best tournaments, I think that justifies him putting him at C+ instead of like C- or D. Up next we have Kotozakura. Oh, dude, this is my guy, bro. This is my guy, man. Plagued with knee issues. You know, he's still a competent athlete of his caliber. Like, he's still an Ozaki worthy guy. But he just relies so much more on good schedules to eke out winning records. And I think against guys, you know, when we looked at the guys that we said would struggle against Sanyaku competitors, you know, the Tamawashis, the other guys like that, these are the kind of those are the kind of wins he has, and then we'll lose like, you know, kind of like a mixed bag between the Sanyaku guys, especially the top level dudes. He kind of just gets fucking dicked down on, which sucks. I hate seeing it, but C plus, man. 8 and 7. Look at these. Look at this, dude. Look. Can you believe this? 8 and 7. 8 and 7. 8 and 7. 9 and 4 start, loses, gets injured. 8 and 7. 8 and 7. Is that not insane? How could I pick anything else but a C plus? Genuinely, how? Until I see it happen, I'm not gonna do it. Yeah, that's just it. Anyway, moving on. Kirishima. We're getting to the fucking big boys here now, bro. Kirishima. Wildly inconsistent over the last year due to injury. You know, every time he seems to just have a bit more momentum, he just gets fucking held back. He gets pulled back, yo. But now, that is no more. That is no more. He proved us all wrong going 11 and 4 last time, and now he's looking for an Ozeki promotion with this tournament, which he's gonna fucking get. I have him at A-. I mean, okay, if I have him at A-, technically that means he might just win 9 and 10. I could see that happening, but like, I think he's, you know, if he gets 11, oh, he doesn't get the promotion if he does go to 11, bro, because he fucking started Magashira too. I'm gonna say A-. I think he's gonna do well. If he puts in another 11, I think he's reached a level of consistency maybe that like he'd say no, they won't promote him, but then the next tournament, if he can put in another 11 and 4 performance or something A-, then like yeah, I would say like he's locked in for like maybe an A+ or maybe even S next tournament, you know. If he can put in like 11 wins here and I'm right about this, then I could see that. But for now, I'm gonna say A-. He'll stay between the 9 and 11 range is what I predict. Because, you know, it's hard to say with just the fucking injury woes, you know? Like, if he doesn't have any more injuries, it's hard to tell. It's just hard to tell with him, man, because he just gets so fucked on by these injuries sometimes. But I'm being hopeful. I think he's going to have a very good tournament. He's finally shown some consistency at the top level. Let's see it happen again, man. I'm calling it right now. Let's see it happen again. Up next, though, Yokozuna Onosato. He is the current best fighter in the division. It's still a matter of time if someone can figure him out. It's still a matter if someone can figure him out, I should say. And when he's healthy, is almost guaranteed to win. That's why these numbers are so low, because he was injured, so he did not win these. So there are some injury woes here, but I feel like, you know, enough time has passed, and he didn't do as badly that I think he can at least get 12 wins here again and compete for a Yusho. This guy's just the GOAT, man. Like, he's just the guy right now. Like, he's just the best competitor right now, dude. There's just no question about it. 3 Yusho wins in the last year is nuts. So, I'm going to have Onosato be at least an S tier. He's going to at least compete for a title. As well as this man. Dude, what can I say, bro? Look at this fucking come up, dude. Magashira 15, 11 and 4, Fighting Spirit Award. Magashira 9, 11 and 4, Fighting Spirit Award. 11 and 4, Ju Yusho Technique Award in a Kinbozan at Magashira 1, and then another Technique Award at Komusubi at going 11 and 4, and then he reaches Sekiwaki Yusho Outstanding Performance Technique Award, 12-3 playoff win, and then once again at Ozeki, his first rank at Ozeki Yusho 12-3 playoff win. Dude, he's gonna be Yokozuna, bro. Like, he's going to be Yokozuna. What can I say? How could you not predict that happening? How could you say now, yeah, he's gonna fall off? Genuinely, how could you say that? You can't. You can't. I have him. He's gonna win it. He's gonna do well. He's gonna at least 12 wins, which should get him the Yokozuna ranking. So that's all there is to it, man. That's all there is to it. Finally, we have Hoshoryu, the other Yokozuna. He gives Onosato his toughest match, but still randomly struggles. He's a bit hard to figure out because he gets very unlucky at times, and also definitely loses to Aonishiki. And if he's not 100% healthy, probably won't get 12 wins. I think he is 100% healthy, though, so I'm going to predict him to go 12-3. Again, he did look kind of off this last tournament, you know, and these 3 Ju Yushos are fucking incredibly unfortunate, but I think it'll be genuinely, I think it'll be very competitive between the Yokozuna and Aonishiki, bro. So that's kind of the way I see the tournament playing out. And that is my predictions and tier list making of this tournament. So like I said, these 3 guys will be the big competition. Ora and Kirishima will be on some good runs. Daieisho, Kinbozan, and Tamawashi will get some winning records. And then the rest of these guys are all just kind of toss-ups. So yeah, those are my predictions. That's my tier list for this upcoming Haru Basho. Be sure to leave in the comments down below what predictions you think I'm gonna get right, which ones you agree with, which ones you disagree with. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like. And if you want to see more, including my reaction to when this tournament wraps up and how all these predictions, fell through or aged very well, be sure to subscribe to the channel, because you might just find yourself enjoying more of my other combat sports coverage, especially over the next month that we have to wait till my next sumo video. But yep, that's my tier list. Again, shout out Sumo Spiffy for the idea. Love his videos. Can't say that enough. Can't wait to see what his predictions are. Compare that to mine when that video eventually drops. But until then, that's going to do it for me. I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.